US Bank has a way of playing hard to get. But here we are again, ready to dive into yet another one of their cards because we just can't resist it. In today's video of my 5-part series, we're taking a hard look at the Altitude Connect. Is it the key to finally feeling appreciated, or just another disappointment waiting to happen? Let's break it down. So like I mentioned, today we're covering the US Bank Altitude Connect. It has a sign-up bonus of 20,000 points when you spend $1,000 in the first 90 days of opening your account. It has no annual fee, and that's a recent change. It used to have a $95 annual fee, but they waived it for the first year. Now it's just no annual fee forever. It also has no foreign transaction fees. You can redeem the points that you earn in the travel portal at 1 cent per point. However, there are no transfer partners with US Bank, so 1 cent per point is the max you're gonna get. And by the way, they devalued their points recently for the Connect, but we'll go over that when we cover the point system. The Altitude Connect gets 5x on car rentals in the travel portal. It gets 5x on hotels in the portal. It gets 4x on generic travel. It gets 4x on gas and EV charging. It gets 2x on groceries. It gets 2x on streaming services and 1x on everything else. The US Bank generic travel category covers cruises, so you're getting 4x on cruises, 4x on airfare, whether it's in the portal or not. You get 4x on car rentals outside of the portal, 4x on hotels outside of the portal. It even covers a little bit of transit, so taxi cabs, limousines, passenger trains, you get 4x on that as well. For the gas and EV charging, it is up to the first $1,000 per quarter. Now, unless you're a long haul truck driver, you're really not gonna hit that cap. Then you get 2x on groceries, like I said, streaming services, and 1x on everything else. For standard benefits, just like with the Altitude Reserve, you get the TSA PreCheck Global Entry, $100 credit every 4 years. You get cell phone protection up to $600. And like with the other two cards, you also get the real-time rewards. The problem with the real-time rewards on this card is you're gonna redeem for 0.8 cents, not a full cent per point. So it's not a good deal. I would not use this. Use it for travel if you possibly can. Or if you have a US Bank account, then always put it in your bank account to get the 1 cent per point. And then also like the Reserve, it has access to the Priority Pass lounges. However, it's half as many visits that you get per year. It's 4 instead of 8. So if you're only flying a couple of times a year, that's probably fine. But if you're flying more than that, then you're gonna need another card to cover your lounge access. The Connect does have some travel protections that just come with the standard Visa signature card. So you've got travel accident benefit, travel cancellation interruption insurance, and trip delay reimbursement. For the application rules, it's the same as the Go and the Reserve. I went extensively into the rules on the Reserve video, so if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch that video. But basically, it's 524 and the City 66, where you can't have any hard pulls for over 6 months, but it's not that simple. This is the bare minimum. It's very difficult to get the US Bank cards, which is why I'm doing this series of videos. And essentially, if you had any hard pulls over the last year, you're probably not gonna get it without some kind of manual reconsideration. So the Reserve, the Go, and the Connect all use Altitude rewards as their point system. However, they may as well just be completely independent because they can't combine points to make those points more powerful or anything. So they're pretty individual. Once those points are in your card's account, they have to stay there until you cash them out in some way. Now for the Connect, and I'm recording this in September 2024, the Connect's points were devalued, so I had to actually break off and make a new Altitude Rewards 2024 plus point system just for the Connect because the Connect's points don't work like the other two cards work. So now the Connect has its own Altitude Rewards point system, and then the other two cards are still using the legacy Altitude Rewards, which are all 1 cent per point. But since the Connect has a 0.8 cent per point cash value, they couldn't use the same one because they only have one cash value for a reward system. So for now, it has its own. My guess is they will eventually move the reserve and the go over to this same valuation once they refresh those cards. I haven't heard any rumors as to when they might refresh those cards, but you can kind of see it coming. In any event, the travel value for the Connect in the Altitude reward system is 1 cent per point. The cash value is 0.8 cents per point, and the gift card value is also at 0.8 cents per point. Like I previously mentioned, you cannot transfer these points in any way to a spouse, to a friend, nothing. It stays in this account until you cash it out in some way. So let's jump into some card comparisons. First, we're going to just compare the 3 cards that we've reviewed so far with the Connect, the Go, and the Altitude Reserve. So obviously the annual fees are 0 for these 2 cards, and you've got the Reserve at $400, but from the video earlier this week, we know that we can easily get $325 off of that, so we're dealing with only a $75 annual fee, which is pretty easy to mitigate as well because of all the digital wallet categories. So if we just slowly scroll through here, you'll see that it doesn't really beat the Reserve at anything. It's better than the Go, but essentially it's sort of a light Reserve. So if you wanted a 0 annual Reserve with not as much benefit, then the Connect, I guess, is okay. But then you've got to deal with the fact that it only has 0.8 cents per point on your redemption options when redeeming for cash. So that means you always have to use it for travel, for redeeming. Otherwise, you're not going to even get close to the benefit. So the streaming service was the only green that I saw. Yeah, all of these were yellow. So streaming service was the only green that I saw that beat the Reserve. So it's kind of pointless. And since it's so hard to get these stupid cards, if you're going to like go out of your way to get one card, then it's going to be the Reserve. It's not going to be the Connect. It's not going to be the Go. So for the benefits, you definitely get more benefits with the Reserve as well. And then with the calculations, if we'll scroll down here in the calculations, for the first year, I mean, it's not even close. It's double for the Reserve, so why even bother with that one? And then for the second year, close to being double. It kind of makes it a pointless card. I don't know why you would get the Go, as we talked about in yesterday's video. And I also don't know why you would bother with the Connect. The Reserve is a good card if you're not bending over backwards, opening up crazy bank accounts and whatnot just to get it because of the digital wallet factor. But otherwise, these 2 cards on the left here make no sense to me whatsoever. So let's switch this up and put those 3 cards in the same wallet and compare to some other trifectas to see how they compete. So we've got the US Bank over here, and the Chase trifecta and the Citi trifecta. For annual fee, it comes in last, but again, like I said, you can get that down to $75, whereas I don't believe you can get these down, so that's essentially $95 unless you like use an Uber credit or something like that, which you can, okay. And then it looks like it does pretty well, mostly because of the Reserve. I mean, the Reserve is covering all of these categories. Like every single one of the category, it's the Reserve. Where is the Connect? Okay, we got a Connect or the Go can cover your streaming, but the streaming is so much better on the other ones than with the point equalizer turned on, because you're going to redeem these points for transfer partners to maximize the value of your points, whereas you don't have that option on the US Bank. So again, you keep scrolling down and like it's all Reserve. Everything is Reserve. So those other 2 cards are just completely pointless. So we'll get down into the benefits. We won't use the second pre-check. We'll just use the 1 because that doesn't make sense to have 2. And we'll come down to the calculations. For the first year with the sign-up bonuses included, it's dead last by a long shot. So by $1,000+ for this one, and then almost 1,000 more for the Citi trifecta. And then for year 2, if we scroll down the calculations, again, it's just way behind compared to the smaller Chase trifecta and the Citi trifecta. So it just doesn't make sense. I mean, if you're going to use the Reserve with some other cards that aren't US Bank, I think that makes more sense. But the Connect and the Go, I don't Why waste your time? You know, it's got the, oh, it's 4x, but yeah, it's 4x with no way to transfer to transfer partners. And for the Connect, if you're going to redeem for cash, it's 0.8 cents. So now it's even lower than 4x. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. So I think you know my thoughts on the Connect card. It's absolutely, do not get this card. It is a waste of a card. I can't even dream up a scenario where it makes sense to anybody. If you can, put it in the comments below. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. But I appreciate you watching the video. Sign up for the website. It's completely free. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It's the only way I'm going to be able to support the website, because it's definitely growing, and at some point it's going to cost me a ton of money. So please follow the channel, like, share. Appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.